Hello and welcome to another set of turns here of Dominions 5. We are playing as Berytos. We are jumping in on turn 61. 61. Alright, so I believe we're continuing our war with Ulm, although it's mostly cooled down for us. And we're trying to assassinate some thrones. Let's see how we do. We do manage to get the jump on the back line. He has been diseased, limp, weak, and lost an arm. So he's definitely suffering. Though he is going to kill us. But definitely chipping away at him nicely. I mean, it just costs us so little from a Bloodslave perspective to do this. There is some cost from an opportunity perspective. You know, we could be doing a lot of other things with the Blood Mages. This hopefully should be easy enough. Yeah. That sage goes bye-bye. Now, the problem... We're going to try on this guy again. Now he's got a lot more Vine Men. And we jump on the Vine Men, so... Not going to be very likely to succeed here. He did damage some and diseased them, but not enough to matter, probably. We have one more. So, particularly on this throne, the tricky part is that we don't actually manage. We never pinged it. We hit him and diseased him, but have not killed him. We didn't actually ping it because we didn't want to reveal to the other players that we were considering going for it. And so we don't know how many commanders are there. So we're going to have to, take a swing and a miss at some point just to know that it's sort of available. We cast Astral Window here on Ulm, and we can see a fight. I think there's not much, not too much left inside. The Spirit, Naed, and a bunch of these mages, but no troops left. Natural Rain, Howl, Wailing Winds, cast by Fomoria. The Eagles are not going to hold up very long. They're kind of the opposite of what you're looking for gate holders. Mass Flight coming out. Lots of these sylphs off of the Queen. This dude is going to happily torch all of his own teammates. I mean, we know how this is going to go. Yeah. Many people blowing up. We'll have to check the log. Sea of Ice has been dispelled, so that's bad. And we're doing pretty good on Blood Slaves. Here's, let's see, 47, 71, let's see, 76, 116, 127, 151, 172, 188, plus another 50, 238 Blood Slaves per turn. That's the most that I've really done. I don't know, maybe more advanced blood economies for other nations like a Zabalba or Mictlan are going to be doing more than this. Maybe we're really behind, but it feels pretty good. Here's our real assassination attempts. We've got our bottle of water and a black heart, and we're going to do, looks like Disintegrate, which disintegrated a tree. And then we disintegrated another tree. He's busy lightning bolting our water elemental, or ice elemental, I suppose. So as long as he's focused there, we will eventually get him. Disintegrate doesn't succeed. What is it, V? V. Disintegrate hits for 0 as he resisted. Looks like it's going to be a tough roll. But we also have this ice elemental. Interrupting his spell casting. Did he get disintegrated? Or did he get trampled? Trampled for 21 points. So that's one of the two commanders that was present. The other one is the Titan, I believe is still there. Here we are. We're going to take out the remaining two villains. I don't remember why there are so many blood slaves here. I think that was just... They happen to be on him, so we do lose a blood slave for no reason. But, fine. Fomoria attacks Ulm with some Nemedians, and there's nobody here, so they're going to win. We can see Fomoria lost 28 sylphs, which I think are free because of the Queen of Clouds and a Nemedian warrior to kill the remainder of Ulm's stuff in their capital. So I think that's pretty much it for Ulm. Some pretty garbage events overall. Greendale's been conquered again. That's something that just kind of happens to us on a pretty regular basis. Who conquered it this time? It was the Dryads again. The Dryads. So the most pressing concern, of course, is that Sea of Ice went down because Ulm's pretty much dead, so they're not a huge threat anymore. So we're gonna do, and we can see obviously lots of Atlanteans on our borders. So we're just gonna go ahead and cast it again. We will put the fish back in the puddle. That's our whole Atlantis strategy, is we're just never going to let them get out from under Sea of Ice. Now, my understanding is that, so there's 5 open global enchantment slots. I believe the best play for Atlantis would not be to singly dispel Sea of Ice, but instead to dispel it while also casting any other global enchantment. So that means, 50% of the time the dispel goes off first, the other global enchantment takes the empty slot with no issue. 50% of the time the global enchantment will try and cast first, and so it'll randomly, pick a global to go against. If it overwrites it, great. If it doesn't, then it bounces, same as normal. And then the dispel goes off. I've heard that there's some small chance that the dispel, if the global goes off first, hits Sea of Ice, which is a 1 in 5 chance, it could be then dispelled by your own dispel. I don't know. That's what I've been told, but that's pretty unlikely, right? That's like 10% of the time, and all you have to do to avoid it, presumably, is is cast your global for more than your dispel. I think this is about the time when Atlantis messaged me. I guess it's probably next turn, but he messaged me. He's like, "How many water gems do you have?" And it should be noted, right, there is a real cost to using these water gems. We have access to an amazing spell that we don't get to cast because we're too busy on doing all this water nonsense. These Telkeens are like 16 path mages or something, or 14, something absurd. And they're also like master smiths, and they're titans. And so each time we cast this, we're basically not getting a titan. But I think that there's probably a discussion to be had on whether or not a Titan is more valuable. But certainly from an ease of play perspective, this is much easier. Not having to worry about all of this very asymmetric war that they would be able to fight. Instead, especially, right, we've conquered even more of the coastline since when we first put it up. But in any event, we're putting Sea of Ice back up. We started here yet? No, we're still casting Infernal Disease on this. We've got our Melkart sneaking and our Vampire both headed over here to try and capture this throne. We've got our Vampire here. He's going to try and assassinate the Titan. We've got Melkarts who are sort of standing by if this is successful to move in and then get the claim. And so that is what we're doing. We could go and try and fight. So basically, right, from an overall perspective, the people we can fight are Atlantis, which we don't want to do because it's underwater. It would be a huge pain. I don't know that. I think we could win, to be honest, but it would be a lot more work than I'm interested in doing. We can fight Fomoria, which is very natural. We'll probably have to eventually. They're the other player. They're probably larger than us. They're going to be that neither one of us can really, if everybody has the thrones that are sort of in their territory, neither of us can win without killing the other one. Because we could go and fight Niflheim, right? Like, they're pretty small. We could pick up their territory. They have no thrones though. So it's sort of debatable how worth it that is. I think technically Helheim is still alive, maybe. Yeah, they're still alive somewhere in here, but they're not particularly worth fighting either. And we're sort of just cut off from continuing to fight Ulm, besides the water, but that would involve, of course, fighting Atlantis as well. So we really need to start gearing up. Right now, we're trying to rush these thrones, but we also need to potentially gear up to fight Fomoria, which will be really interesting. They've got a lot of Tartarians running around. We're researching Evo right now, and it looks like I forgot to script the next thing, but we're gonna go, I think, for blood magic next, because we'll have Infernal Prison, particularly, and this does not care how strong your Tartarian is. We will put them right back into the Inferno. So that should be pretty good. I mean, that'll work against the Fomorian Kings. That should very much tip them away from being able to use any, sort of super combatant, Titan, etc. units. And we'll still have access to our Melkarts. But Fomoria has some really scary late game magic. They've got air deaths. They have access to Wailing Winds. They can do Wind of Death traps. They have Dance of the Morrigans, which summons like these little mini. It's like a howl, but with mini thugs. So that's pretty difficult. They've got, at this point, right, we would expect them to have full diversity. Now, I think that our base troop is better if we are considering our base troop to be the Seir. I think that I think that our big army properly supported can beat their big army properly supported, but just on that basis. We also have access to blood in general, which they don't. But they also have perfect scales, or something really close to perfect scales. Okay, they're missing one order, and they're very cold. I don't know that they fully love that much cold, but they're pretty darn close to being perfect scales. So, and our blood hunting, right, can get disrupted by their raiding fairly easily. We would have to start hunting, on Tirnanog, and on this one doesn't even have 5,000, but sort of on some of our fortresses, just so that we don't lose all the blood hunters all the time. And like this one is a good candidate because it's got a leper fens, and we can eat the population to keep our blood hunters alive. But sort of, it would be a tough fight. So we're gonna try and cheese them first, and take this throne, and sneakily take this throne. So that is what we're doing for turn 61. Key thing is putting up Sea of Ice. We can check and see if anybody else is doing anything particularly cool. Casting Cloud Trapeze on Omerica. Where's that? Where are we? We're classing it from here down, I think, over here. Yeah, we're moving an air guy. I've been trying to get an air Melkart for a long time, and we finally got one. So he's coming down here so that he can also potentially Cloud Trapeze in here. King of Banefires, we'll see if it's still available. I think Ulm had it at one point, but he probably doesn't have it anymore. So we'll take that. Sea of Ice. And a bunch of Infernal Disease. So, move into 62. New Knight, 62. Okay, yep, King of Banefires, we got him. Got Anthrax. Our scout was mentally attacked by an enemy mage. Okay, it's a scout. Probably was not aimed at us. Astral Window. Let's see, do we see anything good here? Fomoria attacks Ulm. That same, I think it's, no, probably not the same army. Not another queen. I think that's a different queen. Skeletons, Siege Chaff, Nemedians. So, pretty cool stuff coming out from them. These Nemedians don't have any resistances at this point, and I don't know. We can hit pretty much all kinds of elemental damage with ease. So, I think we'll be able to pop their glamour. Sea of Ice goes back up. They did not try and fight us for the slot, which I think, like I discussed, is a mistake. I think that's the way you try and really get around Sea of Ice. We'll go ahead and kill this Bone Tribe dude. Easily enough. Here we're going after another Sage. Got him. Here we're going after... this guy actually, I think, killed our dude last time. But not successful this time. And then the last one... Oh, is different. This is Fomoria. Moving in one of these Tartarians I talked about us putting into the Abyss. Or the Inferno. Because fighting it seems hard. Yeah, he's got Gift of Health up. But it costs a lot more gems for him to make, equip, Gift of Reason, a Tartarian, than it does for us to send it to the Inferno. Even if it survives the Inferno, right? It's going to be there for a number of turns. So, a very good chance that it dies, or even if it doesn't, it just takes, it buys us a lot of time. Here we have 57, 63, 83, missed, 93, 107, 150. So fewer blood slaves this turn, about just shy of 200. Here's our assassination attempt on the Anuki. They're going to go for an Earth Elemental, and we're doing Horde of Skeletons. This thing doesn't have any protection or much defense. So all we have to really do is get in contact. And we should manage to kill it pretty quickly. It is shattering our Elemental, though, and our Skellies are getting trampled. He's getting up there in fatigue, so he's just doing raised skeletons now. But these skeletons have now made it to her. And they should hopefully. She gets a good hit in. They've been distracted. The Elemental's going to make it to her. Absorb some of the damage. And there she goes. So this throne is now open for us to take. Other battles. Let's see if there's anything interesting. We killed... Oh, this is... I remember this. So we sent our King of Deeper Earth to kill the Independents. Which worked out fine. Moria attacks Ulm. Niflheim attacks... Niflheim is fighting Fomoria. That's good news for us. It means they're not going to fight us. They clearly can't do both. Gives Fomoria something else to think about instead of us. We found... Ore deposit. Some gems. Nothing too much. So now this should be free for the taking, because we finished off the Anuki. I think the idea here, I haven't taken it yet, and that's because I don't want to tip everybody off, right? So presumably people should have scouts on the thrones that they don't really know the position of. Like, I don't have one here, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, right? Fomoria owns it, and Niflheim's on Fomoria's throne. That'd be great news for us if they took it. But, putting scouts where they should be. So once this falls, though, and once it's claimed, we can see that it's ours. Sorry, wrong button. That puts us to 9 points. And then everyone should be like, oh shit, Berytos has 9 points. They only need 2 points to win. Let's stop our petty nonsense and go fight them. So we're going to leave this open. This guy is just checking to make sure there's nothing else there, which I think is not necessary, but just in case. And then here, we're moving our guys on so that we can finish hopefully assassinating everybody with our orders this turn, and then they'll be able to take it next turn at the same time. We'll put 3 red seconds on both of them, Citadel. So we'll discuss that more when we get there, but that's the idea of how we're gonna sneakily take it and not lose it. But besides that, I think that's the main thing we're sort of doing. We're gonna be moving our troops over here to defend this fort in the future. We're going to do another King of Elemental Fire. I sort of don't know what else to do. I'm just like, yeah, let's make another one. Infernal Disease. We're doing an Earth attack. I forgot that Earth attack was a thing. I would have done it sooner. Also on this throne. But now that we know that it's a thing, I used it to try and pick off some more commanders. And we're just trying to run out the clock here on people's attention spans and take these thrones without them noticing. Because this is pretty far away from me. In terms of sneakily taking it, and we still have our nap with Fomoria. Once I take, different people have different opinions, but in general, once I take this throne and am 2 away, winning the game usually counts as a declaration of war from a nap perspective. You haven't broken it, obviously, but people are allowed to attack you. If I put a fort on this, I would generally expect Fomoria to declare war instantly. And they might nap break. It might count. It might not. Certainly, if I show up on both of them, then 100% they just get to attack. So we're trying to avoid that. We're not going to give them the heads up that that's happening. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into 63, and we'll call that probably the last turn of this episode. So we should have a couple more episodes left. 63. More assassinations on this throne. Another dude raising skeletons, but we get the jump on him in the back. He's got dudes, though. Everyone's missing. He survives on 3 HP. The disease demons are sometimes effective and sometimes not. They don't love these guys who do raise skeletons, but we picked him off this time. Another try here at another Sage. Yeah, Sage goes down easily. We do King of Elemental Fire. An Earth attack found no one. Now, this technically doesn't mean that there's nobody left. There could be an Air Mage or a flying unit, but I don't see that from looking at the, looking at the province. But it is unfortunate that this one was last. The Vampire didn't find any in that other throne either. Good amount of Blood Slaves. Unfortunately, then Fomoria takes the throne. They took our throne. And you can see we had indeed finished it off. They get some lightning bolts or whatever. So that is very bad for us. The other battles don't matter too much. But so yeah, Forces of Nature reclaim the land again in Greendale. So Fomoria got this throne. Our dudes are present in the throne. So we were just shy of taking it. Which sucks. So now it's time to pivot. So some things I considered here. 1, if he moved his whole army and then patrolled, if he patrolled me out, but I won the fight, does that count as nap breaking? And I thought if I was sitting here, it might. Plus, he might patrol with the whole army, and my guys certainly won't kill the whole army. But they might. No, I'm sorry, they won't kill the whole army. But they might kill a smaller group that gets left right of just like patrol chaff. So there's some value, I thought, in potentially doing that. But I thought it was pretty cheesy from a nap perspective, and I decided that they were going to sneak out. Now, if they get caught sneaking out, that's nothing I can do about that. So that's bad. The fact that there were no commanders left means that Fomoria should know that someone was assassinating them all. If Ulm was doing it, why would Ulm not have taken the tile? Plus, I don't think Ulm has any assassins. Or any like super easy ways to get them. So, excuse me. Yeah. So Ulm doing it doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. And so if it's not Ulm, who is it, right? It can only be me. So he has to know that I'm assassinating this throne, or was assassinating this throne. And from there should know that I'm trying to pull off some kind of a throne victory. But, you know, I don't know what he can do about it per se. Excuse me. It's early. But so I figured that the jig may be up, and I expect like the whole time this turn was people were taking. I was expecting to get a message of we hereby declare war on your unholy nation, but didn't happen this turn. And the other big news of what did happen this turn is that Ulm took this province back. So that means that I can attack this province again without nap breaking. So to that end, we are moving some troops. Somebody's moving back to here. Who is it? This guy is moving back over here. I think we're going to move our vampire as well. We're going to then attempt to sneak through, landing here and here. So we're not even sneaking through his lands, but land here and here and take this province, and then we'll try and through red seconds it. That is the plan. We're sending our King of Greater Earth back down here to kill these dryads again. The dryads are goofballs. Do we miss any? Don't think we missed anything else here. So I think boards Booch the Messenger for some extra movement just in case. We're making some more gear that we might need. We're doing another Elemental Earth King, 2 more Melkarts. I am trying to, again, I want to make sure I have enough blood slaves. We're a little high now. I could have spent more, but I did want to make sure that we had enough blood slaves to do double forts plus support it with anything else that we need, any other like remotes. We have a lot of demons here, I think. Okay, not as many. Like 50. And we're making more. So bad news here on turn 63. Our cheesy, easy win appears to be no longer possible with Fomoria taking this. If we have to fight Fomoria for thrones, the closest throne is here. This one, we didn't watch. Niflheim fights with their whole big army against 2 Tartarian Titans. We'll watch the Tartarians. They're all kitted out. Great sort of sharpness on this guy, plus some other random gear. She's got a vine shield and a sword. And an air helmet. Temper Flash, Invulnerability, Regeneration, and Body Ethereal. They've got a little stack of buffers here. Soul Vortex. On the other hand, Niflheim casting Word of Thorns. Not sure what these guys are casting. No, they're flying in. So they land in the back. They immediately pop all the buffers. But they look like they're not kitted out, I don't think. Yeah, Frostbrand. Ooh, Frostbrand. And it's tough when you put them all in the same thing, because now their attack deals cold damage and she's cold resistant. Now their attack still deals an awful lot of damage. But you can see they're not even, I think it must be probably the mist form that's mostly doing it. That's her attacking. Oh, let's see, we need to get to the bottom. Let's see. Hits her for 12. 0 points of damage resisted. 8 points. Moss Body is negating. She's just well buffed, and so they're having a really hard time trying to break through here. As you can see, they really don't succeed, and I think that they're routing. She probably has like fear. Yeah, she has fear 10. And so they're routing off the field. This Wrathful Skies is doing a lot of work. This guy's holding up everybody in the gate, and the armies of Niflheim rout. Which is tough for them. And bad news for us, probably. We don't have a nap with Niflheim, so we could take their... if Niflheim took this, we could look to just march up. Although we're not super close. From an army perspective, a lot of our forces are in other theaters. We could also if we have to fight Fomoria for thrones, right, this army could march this way, while at the same time, right, this army, marches here or here. Maybe it marches here. We put together another force to march here. We could do a decent amount of. We could put a lot of pressure on them because we only need one, but they could put pressure back for sure. So it would be tough. But anyway, we're at the 30-minute mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop us here, and we'll pick back up for turn 64 in the next episode. So thanks everyone for joining me, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day.